Good morning. We are going to just start arranging things a little early today because, as you can see, we've moved, and as a result, it's possible that all my audio balance is a big mess. So let me know if it's too loud or too quiet, and we will adjust accordingly as we are waiting for 9 o'clock. I don't know if there is any chance of actually hitting the credits today or not. I honestly do not remember how long the Archdemon and wrap-up and everything is. I still have some of my reinforcements left, so maybe I can make it through the Archdemon. We'll see. Okay, let's see. So my PC panel still doesn't work. I still need a new driver for it that has yet to come out, so it's actually a bit of a pain for me to actually adjust any of the volumes. 30 minutes? Yeah, okay. And then for post-game DLC, it would be Awakening before Witch Hunt, right? I have to double check the survey, but I'm pretty sure that's where we ended up. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we might do the very beginning. If we're really done in half an hour, then we might do the beginning of Awakening, but we won't get too far into it because I didn't actually really advertise that fact. Hi, Mike. Mike's coming in to watch me fail at the Archdemon. That's nice. Nice to join me for my embarrassment. Good morning, everyone. So we are going to get started without too much more. As everyone can see, we've moved. We've moved about 6 inches and turned the camera around 180 degrees. But I think it's a bit more controllable, and I'll have to dial the lighting in. I remembered the ballista. That I remember. So. Also, knowing me, I've probably got 6 plots that I didn't do. She's not that big. Should be fine. Oh, she's not actually a valid target yet. Interesting. Oh yes. Well, what do we got? That's the plan. After we do Awakening and Witch Hunt, we'll move on and do DA2. You know what, Alistair? Why don't you go and take a look around? Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Oh, ballista!
All right.
Do I need to... Oof. Oh yeah, that did virtually nothing. Okay, fine. Under arms. That looks like breath weapon. Doubt I can knock her prone. Oh yeah, I've still got 3 of my reinforcements left. Oh, where'd you go? Where are you shooting from? Oh, there you are. Fine. What's the... Where are you? I don't know if that hit or not. Stop it. Oh, okay. Let's see what's left are. Hey, Archdemon. Are we not? We're not getting waves. Interesting. Ooh. You win. Need you to stay alive.
That's good.
Where do I go?
Oh, Archdemon, you died. Well, we could do this. What do we got? Elves! They're archers.
And I'm on.
Oh, here's the reinforcements. Oh, jeez.
And I'm on.
Another battle light.
Down you go.
This is sort of the backwards of the... Sort of the backwards of how this is supposed to work. I'm dealing with the reinforcements and the elves are dealing with the Archdemon, but alright. Come on. There you go. So now it's getting a bit more crowded. Can we not? Oh yeah, I see. Whoops. Oh, that's cool. Right, we have to deal with the waves before we get to deal with her again. Okay. This freaking tree. Oh, the I cannot heal spell? Nice. Nice. Seriously? Okay.
As we say.
Okay, let's go find that ballista. Now that video interruption was me clicking out of the window. I think.
Down.
Oof.
Nothing but oh, this will be fun. Watch out.
In the bomb. Oof. Oh. Things just got real. Get revival back? Nope. Alright, Morgan. I guess you're gonna be down for this. Like one elf left, 2 elves left. Can we? Oh, I missed this. Kind of just waiting for the revive to come back. Where'd you go? Yeah, elves. Nope. Which one can hit her? Hey, how are you doing? There.
You were more careful.
Oh, you're dying now.
Back.
Oh yeah, that'll hit her. No? Oh, wow. Okay. We're doing really well. Maybe. Whoops, that was me again. think I got her.
Here.
I think the elves hold her down, basically. I think they're I think they like low whittle down her DPS. I think that they, even though you know, the werewolves are good in other parts, I think the elves are actually really good for this part. As I remember from 23 or 13 years ago, you know. Oh yeah, Alistair, get her done. That wasn't framed the best, but all right. Got a kill steal from Alistair. Now we get some wrap up. Yeah, see, Alistair's all pissed off I stole his XP. Origins really does do some impressive army stuff, given the clunkiness of its engine. We did the ritual.
And then it was over. With the Archdemon dead, the Darkspawn horde quickly crumbled.
Okay.
Most fled back into the deep roads. They would remain a threat in the years to come. But the blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Ferelden had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its new king.
Yay, he'll be adequate.
Grey Wardens stood redeemed, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. Of those who stood against the Darkspawn siege of Darrah, there is one in particular who deserves commendation.
Darkspawn.
The one who led the final charge against the Archdemon remains with us still. An inspiration to all he saved that day. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the hero of Ferelden. The first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago. My friend, it is hard to imagine how you could have aided Ferelden more. I think it only appropriate that I return the favor.
I probably could
Is
have
there any boon that
forced you to marry Honora. That would have been
king?
better.
If it is within my power, I will grant it.
Help the dwarves.
Absolutely. The dwarves face the Darkspawn every day, don't they? Ferelden hereby offers its full military support to the new king of Orzammar, and will aid in reclaiming the Deep Roads. Let it also be known that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arl Howe, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, following the example of those who went before them. What are your plans? Will you remain with the Grey Wardens?
Well, I mean... Probably should have shown Morgan leaving. Gotta find out. We gotta find Morgan. We had that completely meaningless one-night stand, so, you know, I caught feelings or something.
My impression was that she didn't want to be found.
She told me not to follow her.
But I understand completely.
Do you?
There's a group of Ferelden citizens waiting outside to get a
Oh,
look.
thank you, Don.
I suggest you make at least a brief appearance before they storm the gate. Just tell the guard at the door when you're ready.
Let's talk to all these followers I barely interacted with.
So, we made it. I'm impressed, aren't you? You killed an archdemon and survived. That's one for their history books, right? I just don't understand how you're still alive. I guess Riordan was wrong?
It's crazy, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Who knows
Grey Wardens
why?
haven't arrived yet from Orlais, but they've already been sending questions. I guess it'll be a mystery. Speaking of mysteries, where did Morrigan go? She vanished right after the battle. No goodbyes or anything. Good riddance, I say. At any rate, I can see Arleman giving me that look. More king stuff, I suppose. It can never wait. You have lots to do, and an adoring public to greet. Don't let me keep you.
I mean, Alistair would be a fine king. He just needs a policy wonk to, you know, give him ideas. Boop, boop. What's Shale? Interesting.
How incredible that it survived. It has exceeded my expectations.
We've talked to you like twice.
It is welcome. I'll point out that my expectations are difficult to exceed. Thankfully, it appears to be the exception when it comes to its kind. Otherwise, I might be forced to revise my opinion completely. But I will go now. I'm thinking I will return to Orzammar. Perhaps I will fight the Dark Spawn in the deep roads. Clear them out for good. They remind me of pigeons. No. Where I go, it is better if I go alone. The Blight may be over, but the Dark Spawn will just go underground once again. Perhaps I can do something to aid the dwarves. It is a worthy quest. Something worth existing for. Does that make sense? Perhaps for it, but not for me. Perhaps I will see it again one day. I hope so. For a flesh creature, it has been excellent company.
What's the quantum on Shale? Can Shale not survive? You can kill Shale in Anvil, can't you? Eamon?
It is over. I can barely believe it. You stopped the Civil War and then defeated the Blight.
I like
On behalf
this guy
of
over here
Ferelden
just
and our
talking to Eamon, who's ignoring him.
It truly cannot be said enough.
Well, let's not tell the masses just yet. As far as they're concerned, you saved the day without breaking a sweat. Let them have that.
It's too bad that you aren't remaining here in the capital. The hero of Ferelden would have influence, but I understand. Myself, I will be remaining here to help Alistair. Tegan will take over the rule of Redcliffe, at least for the time being. Connor seems well enough, and Isolde refuses to speak of what happened. She says she never wants to go back. I cannot thank you enough for saving them. They are the joy of my existence. Tell me, have you noticed anything strange about the lad? He seems quiet. The way he looks at me at times, it's as if... No, that cannot be. It is my imagination. But here I am rambling on. I shall let you get back to your celebration, Warden.
That was
Enjoy
ominous.
while you can.
Who else do we got? Rika.
A Grey Warden, and now a hero too? A bit different from the slums, huh?
Just came up to the surface just for me? Lose your stone sense.
Ha! I'm his concubine. But it's a comfortable position anyhow. I'll give you that. Mother swore off drinking when she heard about what you did. She's been sober ever since. And as ill as a fell cat in water. I should tell you, the Assembly actually sent me here. Officially, I'm an ambassador. Can you imagine? Me. Apparently, miracles abound these days. They want me to tell you that you're free to return to Orzammar. They've made you a full citizen. Technically, you're warrior caste.
Like, true. She does have to be here.
I don't know, but they did. Of course, that means Mother has risen up too. She's been lording it over all her friends, calling them lowly peasants. I hear they're considering making you a paragon, statue and everything. Not bad, brother. Not bad at all. Anyhow, I intend to get back to sampling this human wine. I'd like to forget that there's a giant sky up there. How they live up here, I'll never know.
My mother really seems quite terrible. I don't think I'll ever meet her. Boop-a-doop-a. Next, Liliana!
So here we are. The conquering hero has won the day, and now he takes his bow and exits the stage. A fine ending. I don't know. I haven't read that part yet, have I? You'll have to tell me.
Flirt with the redhead.
Oh, is that how it is? You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. The Maker sent me to help you, and look what you did. It's a miracle. It truly is. I've been asked by the Chantry to return to the Urn of Sacred Ashes. I need to make sure it's protected. Maybe pilgrims can even begin going there again.
Is that a good idea?
Of course I do. I can't think of anything more important.
It's an
I can
actual
give something back to the
magical
entire
relic.
world. It will be a grand adventure. I hope I will see you before I leave. To say goodbye. At any rate, you should get back to the celebration. We can speak another time.
Do we talk about what happens to the urn in Inquisition when you're in Haven? Presumably. Severin. We're already flirting with Severin.
I will be relieved when all this pomp and ceremony is done. Such events
Well,
are
yeah,
a perfect opportunity
eventually
for
gets blown up.
assassins, after all. I can't help but expect the crows to appear at any moment, which would be a welcome break, mind you. Eventually, with Taliesin dead, it may take them time to figure out what has happened, but they are like the tides, predictable. You know, it does occur to me that staying in one place is only going to invite the crows to find me that much quicker. While fun, that might eventually get complicated. You said earlier that you are planning on leaving soon. Is that true? Naturally. You caught me and now you're stuck with me, I'm afraid. Sad, I know, but we'll manage somehow. Well then, since I am sticking around, I suppose we'll have plenty of time to speak later, yes? So go on and get paraded about. It's fun to watch. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on you and make sure no one gets a clear shot. Not without paying me a great deal of coin, anyhow.
Win!
The hero of Ferelden. My. How does it feel?
Yeah, that makes sense. Get the urn off site.
Alistair's idea, I understand. Which should explain much. But it's not so bad, is it? A blight defeated with the other nations barely becoming aware. Who could ask for better?
There's an amazing amount of blood magic spent on quick fashion changes. Well, that's true, I guess. But I guess you could still have the Guardian, but still. Seems like a security risk.
Until you do something wrong. And then they will enjoy tearing you down just as rapidly.
Ah,
I'm glad
metaphor for the
I'm on the
internet.
receiving end of all this attention myself. I say, let the young have their fame. Not that I've gone without notice. Irving asked me to take over as first enchanter, but I don't wish to go back. Not after all this. Instead, I've decided to accept a position here at court. There's not been a mage advising the throne for a very long time. It's true, I may not have very much time, but perhaps there is a great deal of good I can do even so. I will try. I understand you will be leaving. I wish you good fortune on your journeys, wherever they may take you.
Honestly,
Do not see each
Alistair
other
could need
again.
all the help he could get.
Live well, Warden. And thank you.
I mean, the internet being powered by blood magic does seem right. Oh, Grin.
Humans have a better taste for
Guess I'll
spirits
see you in a
than I
bit.
thought. The ale up here is actually good. Orzammar ale tastes like dirt in comparison.
Good.
Probably because they put dirt in it.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure. I don't know. Maybe eventually. I got offered a spot in the human army. And not as a mascot either. You know, these humans aren't bad for all their long legs. Maybe, for a bit. Talk to me in a year or so when I'm bored, and maybe I'll think differently. Ah, well, enough babbling. That pot-bellied son of a whore Tegan said I'd pass out before drinking an entire barrel of pickle juice. I aim to prove him wrong.
Okay.
Who, me? It's been good traveling with you, Warden. Don't get lost in the shuffle now.
You were only in my party once, but alright. What? Barkspawn? Why are you not in... Oh, is that not Barkspawn? Also, what's behind you, Sten? Is that supposed to be a normal dog? Oh yeah, okay. DAO favorite companion? Probably Win, actually. I definitely played with a very limited group. So I didn't really explore their stories as much this time.
They call you Hero. I have not heard it used before, but I think I understand the intent. The Arishok on occasion has declared a Kunari to be Kunoran Vel, one who serves as an example to others. Such examples are always made after their death, however, a death in service to the Kyun. A living Kunoran Vel would be too proud.
That is.
When a Kunoran Vel is declared, certainly. It is one of few occasions when the Kunari are permitted to engage in revelry. There is imbibing of spirits, public chanting, meditations abandoned. It is madness. It is interesting. It can take days for the Ben Hasrath to restore order. There may even be executions. I suppose I should tell you. I have decided to return to my people. Your quest is done, and thus so is my reason for accompanying you.
Fair enough.
But the Blight is done. I have an answer for the Arishok that no longer requires the question. It must be said, you gave me the chance to redeem my honor, and now it is done. I owe you a debt.
Very loyal.
It has. That one of the Baz, a foreigner, would become known as Kadan to me. Unthinkable. Yet here it is. Perhaps I shall see you again one day. Until then, may you always find the path you seek. Farewell, Kadan.
Goodbye. Just gonna stand there. Awkward. Okay, I guess it's time to go outside. Why don't we save?
Are you ready, my lord? The crowds outside are getting restless.
What am I supposed to do?
Just put in an appearance, so I understand.
Ooh, so spiky.
People just want to see their hero in person. I'm supposed to take you to your escort, full brigade, their armor all shined up and everything. They're really honored to be guarding you, let me tell you.
Ah, that's probably right. That's probably there because Morgan has run away with the baby. Okay, let's go.
Right. I'll take you there now. Follow me.
These are the ones that set up the quantum for the rest of the game. He's popular. The man of the people. Oh, news was hidden until Brother Jenna TV. I mean, there's only so much ashes in that thing. Unless it's just like pour in new ashes and it makes them all magic. Yay, the circle. I mean, Alistair is probably the best thing that could happen to the elves and the alienage in Ferelden. Eamon. It's everything is so happy so far. Even slightly less racism against the elves. I mean, we're not in Ferelden, so I don't know that he's mentioned. Oh, tension soon rose once again. Yay! I helped the castless. Well, I mean, Alistair's supposed to send troops as well. Enemies. Oh, and then he became a tyrant. Dictatorship. I assume this happened before Balin dissolved the assembly. I didn't remember you became a paragon. Oh, interesting. It's interesting that we called Dagna a mage. I mean, I think characters in I think characters in Origins kind of look their actual age. Like Wynn looks late 40s, but by video game or TV or movie standards, she looks like she's 9,000 years old. But she looks better than I do. So Eamon kind of the same, kind of looks about my age. I don't know how old we're implying, but yeah. But by video game standards, he looks to be in his 60s. By, you know, living a real life standards, he looks more like 40s. I did not remember that they could rediscover the crafting of golems if you destroy the anvil. Ah, I see. When Crazy killed everyone. She may have even been seen with a child. A half-dwarf child. We didn't actually do the Flemeth. We didn't actually do the Flemeth killing, did we? I don't think we did that plot. So that's interesting. That's triggering the... Ah, yes. Oh no! It flipped my gender. But you can see this this leaves a lot of threads in a lot of potential different directions that Dragon Age has been dealing with since then, since 2009. Dun dun dun. Credits! Hey, it's me! Oh, that's right, I was second. I might do Golem Zamorak on Nightmare. That is definitely not happening. Do we have a crazy song for the credits and for Origins? Is that, did we start that with DA2? Yeah, okay, 30 Seconds to Mars is 30 Seconds to Mars is Origins? Okay, I couldn't remember. Jared Leto. I met him. He is intense. I guess as all of the stories coming out of him playing the Joker would seem to corroborate. Oh. So what is that? 47 minutes. Took us 47 minutes to get through all that. I never met Tim Curry. I think it still holds together. I mean, it wasn't a very attractive game in 2009, and it's certainly it doesn't look better now than it did then. But I think it holds together. I mean, some of the storytelling choices are problematic. From a now perspective, almost everything in the Pearl, not that I did the Pearl, and then the whole Broodmother bit could be, I mean, it's a bit too far. It was probably a bit too far even at the time, honestly. Yeah, the combat holds up pretty well because, you know, it's not a push a button and immediately do an action. It has aged pretty well. I mean, it's the animation's kind of clunky and things don't line up very great, but that's not really that bothersome. Whereas if it was more direct, I think it would be much more noticeable that it was a problem. Yeah, I remember. So Origins has WASD in large part because Oblivion had WASD controls. I remember the transition. Oh, here's This Is War. I remember the transition and being kind of confused as to why you would do that. But yeah, it's the right call because it basically, in the time that this was in development, it became pretty universal. that it's not seen as a good thing. The resistance that there was to toolset for Frostbite was a feeling like this engine is proprietary. It does a bunch of stuff that we don't want other people to be able to steal. That's basically not even true anymore. There's actually a feeling now within EA that UGC, all user-generated content, is incredibly good, that it's basically free marketing. As you say, like, it's like Skyrim's been going forever. So that's why it's EA is a really complicated relationship with the UGC. What they want is basically everyone to make TikTok videos and things about how great the game is. They don't necessarily want you to make DLC or Twitch stream the thing, but they also recognize that this is not a you don't get to have one without the other, really. Just have 30 Seconds to Mars. Maybe we could actually have 30 Seconds to Mars standing in one corner. It could be one of your allies you can summon. 30 Seconds to Mars. Yeah, I don't mind the anachronistic music in my fantasy games. To be honest, I mean, maybe not all the time, but occasionally. Knight's Tale is. I love Knight's Tale. Yeah, the cost of free ads from fans is fan DLC. That's pretty much sums it up perfectly. How much was I involved with Anthem? I was in charge of Anthem for the last 16 months. So, a damaging amount. Let's see. Is there a way I can move the chat? Oh, maybe I can do this. Let's see if I can do this. There. Now I can see the chat without having to constantly turn my head. Yeah, expansion. So this is the basically, other than Destiny, this is pretty much one of the last expansion packs that ever really was with a retail presence, and it's honestly, it's a way better business than DLC. DLC, you're attaching maybe 10% of your people are going to buy it, whereas expansion pack 30%. You can spend a lot more money and make a lot more money with an expansion pack. Will I do an Anthem stream? I will probably do at least one Anthem stream, because when I do the memories and lessons for Anthem, I need to get enough footage for that. I might play through the story. I'm not gonna play it multiplayer. I might play through the story and play it in pure dark pattern, forcing it to let me play it by myself. But we'll see. So I did a video. I don't know if it's come out yet or not. Sorry, let me see. I did a video on DLC, but so this is so you have to CD Projekt uses slightly different language than this, oh no, the video hasn't come out yet. So I have a video coming out on DLC. I would not. So I would not classify the 3 DLCs from Witcher as expansion packs. They're DLC. They called them expansion packs, but from my perspective, an expansion pack is larger than that. But it's a spectrum for sure. It's definitely. But the thing I would actually say about CD Projekt in general is they're amazingly good at picking the right language. So what they did on Witcher 3 is they said they added a tiny bit of content to each of their patches and said, this is DLC, we are going to give it away for free, aren't we amazing? And then they made their DLC a little bit bigger, and then said, these are expansion packs, we're going to charge for that. And brilliant, honestly brilliant, because it makes them, it's a great PR move. It also got, it meant that they got every time they released a patch, they essentially got an article on the new gaming sites. I mean, it's something to be said, something that the BioWare and frankly Dragon Age in particular is pretty bad at, like naming things and using language that makes things sound better. Yeah, and the Anthem servers are still up. I don't know what the DAUs are. I don't have access to any of the EA backend tools anymore, obviously. Yeah, so The Sims is The Sims is a totally different thing, but yeah, those are basically those are expansion packs as I would define them as well, because they add new gameplay, they add new modes. They're big. Now the Sims business model is bananas. Their average, I think their LTV, their lifetime value, which means how much money the average player has put into the game, is something like $200, which means that most people, well, I'm not actually sure of the breakdown, but I think it means that most people are buying a bunch of their expansion packs. It might also mean that a smaller number are buying everything. I don't know, but I suspect it means that most people are buying most of their expansion packs. So for a game that doesn't have microtransactions, that is basically you buy a thing and then later they release more stuff to add to your thing, it's an amazing business model. It's also a business that EA does not understand. They like BioWare suffer from being a thing that exists within the sports-focused EA ecosystem, that they're constantly trying to explain that our players are not the same as your players. You need to you need to let us do what we know how to do. I don't know if I didn't see that Sims 4 is going free to play. Interesting. I wonder how they're going to monetize that. I wonder if they're just going to sell the expansions. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know if the Sims business model can last forever, because it's so different from everything else. Yeah, so, it's possible that what The Sims 4 is actually doing is 1 in 6 people buy 100% of the DLC for it, and everyone else buys nothing. I suspect that's not true. We had a free-to-play version for Damp. That was Hendrix. It's not on. It was EA didn't want it to exist, so it was only on the servers for a little while, a couple of months. But it was actually it was there. I'm sure it's not up anymore. Yeah, that's interesting about Sims. We did talk with them and they had some stuff. I wonder what happened with that. I think the idea for Damp getting harder when somebody died was to try to make the match start to end so that you weren't waiting. I don't know how effective that is. Probably not very, but I think that's the thinking. What time is it? It's 10. Should we start Awakening? Not going to go very far. What happens if I hit resume? Can I do a poll? Let's do a poll. When I'm doing this, can you guys still hear it? The keywords, yeah. Okay. Do I not get to see? Oh yeah, okay. I can see it over there. I do not get to see it in the OBS chat reflection. What book is that? I am curious. Interesting, we have more people now that we're not playing the game watching than we did when we started. Oh, okay. Before I worked, so I started playing D&D in 1985 and have played D&D ever since. Though there was a break in, I didn't really play any tabletop games in the early 90s, like 92, 93, or maybe 90, 91, 92, 93. Then I played Shadowrun for a while, but you know, all games lead back to D&D eventually, pretty much in tabletop. So I've been back in D&D since probably 96, maybe. Oh yeah, no, I played second. I played the box sets in the 80s. Second edition, third edition, 3.5, 4, and 5. So, I didn't really consider the name of the channel when I founded it. I've been thinking about changing it. So YouTube is going to have handles pretty soon. So because they're dealing with lots of counterfeit channels, people pretending to be any people to be other people. So I just changed my handle name from Old Game Dev Advice to Mark Darrah. Just for that exact reason. I may change the channel name as well. I've been thinking about that recently. It's probably it's a good thought, and I think it probably makes sense. At the time, I didn't I was not really sure how this worked. I've become more familiar with the underpinnings of YouTube in the last year and a half, and yeah, I think it probably makes sense for the channel to be named after me as well. I've been following the discourse on 1D&D, but haven't really been looking at the underlying stuff. Honestly, I think it's funny because I think that for people who've been playing for a long time, I would describe 5th edition as 3rd edition with a bunch of 4th edition concepts snuck in, because 4th edition was a bit of a PR disaster. Things like short rests and stuff like that, but a bunch of things. There's actually a lot of stuff in 5th edition that's actually 4th edition hiding. Some of the concepts in 1D&D are more 4th edition stuff. Some are actually moving away from it. It looks to me like short rests may actually disappear. But like they're experimenting with stuff right now. Like it's early playtest stuff. The changes to crit hits to me looks like they basically render martial classes completely useless, but I suspect they're going to address that at some point through the playtest, but we'll see. What's my favorite thing of working on for Dragon Age Origins? What do I even remember from Dragon Age Origins development? Honestly, probably the thing that I think I probably remember the most vividly is the Stan cookie cutscene, which we didn't actually get because I didn't have Stan in my party. But yeah, Okay, so I'm going to close the poll. Yes, the paycheck. I mean, I did take over Origins very late in its development, which is why I'm second in the credits, not first. Yeah, so I think I don't know if Frostbite's going to die. I think there's a very good chance that what's going to happen is it may become the next sports engine. So FIFA is a monolith and has taken over the driver's seat for that engine. I don't think they're going to be very interested in switching again. So even if active Frostbite development in general goes away, FIFA will keep going, and then a bunch of other games live in the rain shadow of FIFA, like NHL and I think maybe potentially Criterion and Motive might as well. Although Motive, yeah, we'll see. Okay, well, why don't we? EA gave away EA gave away the FIFA license. They're still making soccer games. They're just not paying for FIFA anymore. So the reality is that the FIFA license provided nothing. EA still had to go out and license with every single team and every single player association separately from FIFA. So the only difference that's going to be between this year's FIFA and next year's whatever they're going to call it is going to be that it doesn't have 4 specific letters on the box. It's just a name. That's all they were getting. Whereas so similarly with Madden gets you the name, but then they have a separate license with the NFL and the separate one with the NFL Players Association. So that's 3 deals. The FIFA deal is a complicated mess. You have to go and talk to everybody. No, I don't think so. It will be, yeah, they'll go and get Manchester United still. They'll still have Man U. They'll still have all the teams. What they won't have is FIFA. The FIFA deal doesn't come with that. It's not part of it. Whereas the NFL deal comes with the names of all the teams, and the NFLPA deal comes with the names of all the players. So it's going to be. I mean, they may have to do a big PR campaign to actually get people on board to say, oh no, it's not going to be Manchester Reds. It's going to actually be the same thing, just without FIFA. I mean, FIFA, as most of you probably know, one of the top 2 most corrupt sports organizations on the planet. I only didn't say most because it's quite possible that the IOC is worse, but definitely. To get to Awaken, I have to say new game. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a mafia. You are correct. Oh yeah. Okay. 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 I assume it knows which save to load. Oh no. Okay. Import from another module. What is under advanced? Yeah, that's the one I want. Oh, I'm gonna lost all my cool loot that was on everyone else.
With the death of the Archdemon, the Blight was defeated. But the Darkspawn did not simply disappear. Most of the Horde scattered north from Denerim towards the coastlands. And there fractured into warring tribes. The region fell into chaos as the Darkspawn emerged from hidden lairs to terrorize the countryside. As the new Warden Commander of Ferelden, it is your responsibility to rebuild the Order and deal with the lingering threat. You have come to Amaranthine to join the rest of the Grey Wardens at Vigil's Keep, once home to Arl Rendenhau, but now property of the Order. The lack of a proper welcoming party as you grow close, however, indicates that something is amiss.
What's going on? Why are there no wardens here to greet us? Something is wrong. Quickly, Commander!
I mean, if to answer Jay's question, or not really, or comment, honestly, if it was up to me, well, if it was up to me, I'd probably have forced Mass Effect onto Frostbite, but I would be strongly inclined to keep Dragon Age on Frostbite for at least one more game, because you've built the foundation. The best engine to use is the one you just used. But I don't know what's going to happen after Dreadwolf, to be honest. BioWare seems to be addicted to throwing away work they've done in the past. And it was never up to me. They're probably set as self-illuminating. I don't know. Why did you decide that you were going to be helpful and shrink the quick bar? Why did that happen? You guys are so much tougher. We just killed hundreds of you.
It's you, the hero of Ferelden. Oh, thank the Maker.
I mean, I don't think it's a recruitment. It's not a recruitment negative, Frostbite, but certainly it's a lot easier to find people that already know how to use Unreal. Because in what you actually see in programming is some people. It's not universal, but for some programmers, they don't want to work in Unreal because they feel like someone else gets to do all the cool programming bits. That's not universal, though.
There was someone right behind me. Mage. He might have been a warden, I don't know. All I heard was screams and people dying. I got out as fast as I could and ran into these... You need to help them. You need to do something.
I don't think we actually... I don't think we really were... Pretty much, I think it became a series when BioWare got bought by EA. I don't remember the exact moment, but pretty much, like you can see with the slides at the end there, there's a bunch of stuff that isn't really completely thinking about the fact that we're gonna have to pick up this ball in the future. So no, I don't really remember.
I don't know. Hundreds. The wardens didn't sense them until it was too late. And then they were everywhere. I'll see if I can't find some help. There has to be a patrol on the road.
We don't have a lot of time, Commander.
Frostbite shares a lot with Unreal as well from a tools perspective. It's not, I don't think, it wasn't done quite as intentionally. It's funny because the tools for Eclipse for this game, there was a specifically designed a wall between the two project streams to prevent this engine from taking too much from Unreal. There was a worry that Epic was going to get mad at us and sue us, which, given everybody else's engine development, was probably unfounded.
Oh, pardon me, Commander. I'd assumed proper introductions would be taken care of at the Keep. My name is Myri. I was a knight in the King's service until I was recruited a month ago. but I haven't taken my joining yet. The Seneschal sent me to bring you back. I was not expecting this.
I imagine that that a blight probably increases warden recruitment.
This isn't a blight. How could they be so organized? I don't understand. Other than an archdemon, you mean? Frightening thought. Varel, the Seneschal. He is the keep steward, I believe, working for the Wardens. This is Vigil's keep, which once belonged to Arl Howe. Considering what he did to you and the rest of the Order, losing their lands is probably the least of his family's problems. Right, let's teach these evil bastards a lesson.
Oh, oh no. Are we back in combat? No. Hey, something gives stamina. I'll just go ahead and put that on the quick bar.
More trouble.
Shrieks. Oh. Oh, you went this way.
Going.
Make her hurt me! Make her guide my blade!
I mean, yeah, I think it makes sense that people would be interested because, you know, you're the heroes on the block, but why are we making, given what the Wardens know about blights and things, you're right. You would think that responsible thing would the responsible thing for the Wardens to do would be to actually cut their recruitment way down, keep the Order alive, and then as they sense a blight starting to come, ramp the recruitment way back up again. But you know, I don't know that they know that a blight is coming early enough to do that. So I guess the worry would be that if they don't keep their Order relatively large, then they wouldn't have the forces necessary to fight a blight. Though of course, you wouldn't expect another blight right now. We just finished with one. Yeah, they don't know. They don't know about the calling. So I think it's yeah. There's Darkspawn to fight, and I think it's about, despite what they may claim, it's about being big enough to have a political impact on the world, so that everyone doesn't ignore their existence, and then they show up and no one remembers who they are.
And I'm off.
Yeah, I mean, Duncan talks about knowing it was coming, but everyone not believing him. So, it does imply that they know at least some time beforehand, but you probably don't want to wait until just 1 year before it's going to start happening before you, before you start rebuilding your forces. It's a chest. Okay. Oh, why are you going that way? Yeah, but that's pretty close. That's pretty close to the actual. That's pretty close to the actual blight itself when you're starting to get the nightmares and stuff. I mean, there are darkspawn. They are kind of orcs. They are kind of about even between blights. Oh, it's not locked. Why? What's the path? Why is this got? What's going on with the pathfinding here? Something screwed pathfinding up here. Oops. You know, I don't really remember Awakening very much. I remember the druid.
All right.
I'll be at the front gate, sir. If you find others, send them to me.
What am I wearing? Oh, same stuff I was wearing before. Okay. No, so the reason why Awakening was able to ship so close to Origins is because Origins moved a huge amount really late in development to do the consoles. So Awakening was pretty much mostly built in 2009. You know, in the last 9 months of Origins development, which was mostly porting it to the consoles. There's no way you're getting an expansion pack out within 5 months of that size without. Oh, I guess you should follow up.
I thought I was done for. Thank you.
Go to the front gates. The guy is gonna hold the front gates. Is this supposed to be a chicken coop? I don't remember chicken coops. Oh yeah, I guess it's the chicken coop. I wonder if it's a shrunk down house. Yeah, so the question for Awakening is, should it have even been an expansion pack, or is a different solution to have made it, say, 40% bigger and made it a full-size game? I mean, this is, I think, the reason why expansion packs are so rare these days, is because it's easy to imagine a path from an expansion pack to a $60 game or $70 game. And then you're getting somewhere between 80 and 120% attach as opposed to 30% attach. I suspect that's actually the primary reason why expansions have kind of faded away, because I'm going to ship a game every single... Oh, I still have an injury. Do I? Oh no, what is this? Because I'm going to ship every year is fairly accepted within games these days. So honestly, the pitch for Joplin's live service was, we're not going to do a live service. We're going to do a game, and then we're going to do another game in 18 months and another game 18 months after that. And maybe you'll do some DLC, one piece of DLC in there, but we'll just be like dunk, dunk, dunk. And you know, the economics for that are great. Yeah. So that's That's why expansions are gone, I think. This Awakening is also a master class in people who are familiar with the tools, using the tools at their disposal to do some amazing stuff. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Nope. There. Stupid spellcasters. Oh, I still didn't level up. I honestly thought I was going to get there before he got that off.
Yes.
Well, I like that they're filling up my potion reserves. Yeah, the pathing is not great. Wait, I gotta loot this chest first. I don't know why it's deciding I need a bunch of... Hi, everybody. Oh, didn't get the shriek. Stupid shrieks.
The fighting is worse inside the keep, sir.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly loot these guys. Don't mind me.
And I'm off.
One of the you know, the challenges. Did I get a yet different? Oh yeah, a greater stamina drop. One of the things with the expansion pack is they kind of have to fit inside of the umbrella. Even if they're taking place afterwards, like this one does, they kind of can't raise the stakes too much. Whereas if it was a full-fledged sequel, then it can kind of do something new. It kind of has to, which is part of the problem, I guess, with Awakening is, given... Oh, he died. Given where Origins leaves... given where Origin leaves the world, it's kind of hard to... We didn't really know where we're going to go for sequels yet, so that's probably why. Is that a ballista? Oh, yeah. I'm not actually paying attention to where I'm going. I'm just kind of wandering around answering questions. Oh, keeps there.
Never any shortage of these ones.
Where? Oh, there you are. Oops. That's the fundamental problem of Origins not knowing it was going to be a it's going to have sequels. Is it leaves the world in a very quantum state. There's still stuff that is hinted at in those things that are happening, you know, they're happening sometime in the future that that I think are going to probably at this point be ignored, but yeah, definitely that is probably the biggest issue of Origins is just that it leaves the world in a state that was definitely not intending there to be a sequel. Oh right, I should level up. Sure, why not? I think so. I think we went everywhere.
Unbelievable. The keep has been overwhelmed. How did the Wardens not sense the Darkspawn coming? I don't understand it. For the Darkspawn to have ambushed the keep so effectively, I didn't know they were capable of such a thing.
Yeah, I don't think everything needs to turn into a series, but of course, if you are a publicly traded multi-billion-dollar company, you're going to definitely try to catch that lightning again and again and again and again. The problem of not sequeling Dragon Age is then what you would have been doing is probably trying to make a fantasy RPG in a new setting, and then having this impossible comparison to Dragon Age constantly happening, and every single difference being a potential criticism. You can see why that would be a potential big problem. In a lot of ways, honestly, much as I wouldn't want to wish it upon other dev teams, Dragon Age 2 is what allows Dragon Age to be a series, because it kind of is the one that eats that rock of this is not like my previous game, and it kind of gets rid of the worst bits of continuity errors, and so to a large degree, I would say that by Dragon Age 2 being this thing that's rushed out to fill a financial gap, it allows the series to become a series. But, you know, I wouldn't say that's the fix that everyone should take, but yeah, so the thing that when we were discussing doing a remaster for the trilogy, my pitch was to essentially retcon it into a trilogy, so to make it the Champions trilogy or the or something to that effect, where you group the three games together, imply that they were always intended to be a trilogy, kind of, and then that does a couple of things. It packages them into something that stands on its own a bit better, but also it also lets you potentially change what you're doing with the protagonist going forward. If you've decided that, okay, we've changed protagonists every single game up till now, but maybe we're not going to do that going forward. By packaging them together in a remaster, you kind of give yourself permission to do that. Pretty sure it's just an art thing on the ears. Yeah, I don't think certainly Dreadwolf is going to have a new protagonist, given that the protagonist from Inquisition is missing a limb. I talked about DA2 a little bit in... I talked about it a lot, but I talked about what more time looks like in the Memories and Lessons video. The problem that you have to remember with DA2 and more time is very quickly you run into Skyrim, and releasing DA2, regardless of how much extra effort you put into it after Skyrim, is not a good thing. So it has to kind of live in a pre-Skyrim world. There are stuff that can be done, for sure, but there's a limit to what you can do.
Right, they won't get away with this.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. Is Mass Effect has Shepard is too tightly associated with Mass Effect, and so what do? Do you just keep bringing him back and making clones of him or something? That was definitely a problem in the case of Awakening, because you had a younger protagonist, and so therefore the tonal differences were seen as problematic. So it's something that you definitely have to think about. Oh, you guys are just waiting there as we talked. Interesting. They must not have a knockback streaks. So one thing I would say about the marketing for Dragon Age Origins is we probably oversold the Wardens, because essentially what we did was establish them as the coolest thing in the world, and then so the series has definitely been dealing with the aftermath of, but not Wardens, therefore not cool forever since then. I did meet Andromeda.
Yes.
But it does mean that a new protagonist means you have a harder job every single game, because you have to get people interested. You don't get the shortcut of Shepard is Shepard. You know Shepard.
Going.
Hey, my mage. I like that he's burning his hands.
I didn't do it. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not broken up about them dying, to be perfectly honest. Biff there made the funniest gurgle when he went down. Oh, I know. Most people enjoy being kicked in the head to be woken up each morning. Me, I'm just so picky. I am Anders, at your service. Mage and wanted apostate.
An apostate? At Vigil's Keep?
You weren't here when we arrived. I'm sure I would have remembered such a lovely woman as yourself. We were just stopping here on our way back to the tower. Just a short rest, they said, and now they're dead. Such a shame. So they kept saying, although come to think of it, there's no real way to know for sure, is there? The Templars captured me and were taking me back, and then, you know, Darkspawn attacked. Could be a sign, yes? Isn't it, though? The Maker moves in mysterious ways. Well, tell you what, I'll help you and we can discuss what comes later. Later, once all these bastards are properly put down, yes?
Interesting, you leveled up when you joined, but she didn't. Hey, fine, level you up. What are you? Healer. Wait, what? Oh yeah, okay. Do I want Arcane Warrior? Yeah, sure. Sure. Why don't we just take tactics so I don't have to worry about it? Oh, okay. Do-do-do. And where are all the healing powers? Oh, healing. I'm basically turning you into Win. Check his tactics. It's possible that he's.
I need to get out of here.
Let's actually do that. Tactics. Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, I think that with Justice, you definitely do a really good job, I think, of explaining away anything that happens to Anders. Yeah, exactly. Don't mind me. Okay. Oh, don't die. Guess I shot her with the ballista. Hey, Anders. Okay, good. Arrows. I don't even have an archer. Ah, yes. That was that door. Okay.
We're scared now. Don't come over here. Ha! It'll take more than that to kill us, beasties. Come again if you dare.
What in the world? Oh, okay. Hey, an actual choke point I can hold. I didn't remember we added stamina as a potion in Awakening. Oh, no one got killed down there. Wait, we were already here. I think Skyhold is bigger, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how people imagined that wasn't a people imagined that wasn't devastating. Oh, okay.
Get to safety, quickly!
May God bless you.
I said
Yep, let's go kill ourselves in Genlock. Nope. Nope. That works. Oh, got knocked down. Oh. Oh. Wait. I thought that was her. Oh. Yeah, I don't think you can ignore the fact that he killed a bunch of people, regardless of which side of the mage question you're on. But I didn't realize people were. Oops. Interesting.
Going. How amusing.
Ugh, another emissary. Anders is the one that made us rethink how we introduce romances, because a lot of people, I think a lot of people ended up in romance with him that didn't mean to.
Get yourselves to safety.
The book there's not a codex entry.
All right. Yes.
Speaking of. Ogren! Oh, there's an emissary. Okay, let's go kill that emissary. Oh, these are dead. All right. Good job, Ogren. Yeah, like, I mean, Anders killing his jailers in Awakening here, I don't think that's that's a big deal, but yeah, I mean, we'll see if they come back to that in Dreadwolf, but I think that because of Anders in DA2, Inquisition was definitely trying to not accidentally do anything to you, but it does mean that it is very, very player controlled and very player initiated. But maybe they'll be willing to go back to that a little bit.
Too bad for you.
Aha! There you are! When these Darkspawn showed up, I thought, just you wait until the new commander gets here and you'll all be spitting teeth out of your arses. Followed the screaming, and sure enough, here you are. Good on ya! Doubting your eyes, huh? I get like that after the 5th bottle or so. Came here thinking I might try my hand at becoming a bona fide Grey Warden.
He was here when I left. I can't believe the Wardens didn't kick him out.
Well, hey, if it isn't the recruit with a great rack.
Yes, a prize for the Wardens, to be sure.
I know. Too good to be true, right? Hey, who's the mage? Boyfriend? Should I leave you two alone?
Wow, a dwarf that smells like a brewery. You never see that anywhere.
A mage comedian. Thought those normally died young. There are risks to getting up in the morning. I piss on risk.
I'm sure Risk appreciates it.
Well, we can talk about that later. Right now, there's more Darkspawn around in sore need of a beheading.
This is, I mean, Ogren's here in part because of, again, Quantum. Because Wynn could be dead, Lyanna could be dead, Alistair could be dead. Who else? Sten could be dead, or you're not even recruited and therefore dead. So you don't really have a lot of choices if you want to bring a companion back. Ogren could be dead? How could Ogren be dead?
And I'm off.
Oh yeah, dog could be dead because you could have just not gotten dog. How can Ogren be dead? Oh yeah, Zavrin could be dead.
Myri?
Roland! Commander, Roland was a knight recruited from Denerim like me. We must do something for him.
He looks beyond healing magic. Maybe a shot of whiskey for the pain?
I like the way you think.
Stop joking! This isn't funny.
The commander?
Oh, so they do respond to it, but he must have been the least quantum then.
We only had a moment's warning before they were on us, Commander. The Seneschal ordered a counterattack, but they came out of nowhere. There's one with them. A darkspawn who talks. His magic is powerful.
A talking darkspawn? The lad must be delirious.
There's something in my blood. It hurts.
Yeah, I mean, Liliana is... The place that you would be most likely to kill Liliana would be in the Urn of Sacred Ashes. And I think we just sort of like, the urn's right there, so she's fine. Yeah, there needs to be a warrior. I mean, we could have made a brand new character, but... He is... Stan was really likely to die. Lots of people didn't even recruit him.
It went that way after the Seneschal.
I will avenge you, Roland. I swear it.
Yeah, like... So, I mean, hers is probably the most plausible retcon. But yeah, so the comics have to so the one of the things that frustrates me a bit about the lore in Dragon Age more so than Mass Effect is because it's so quantum, is the linear stuff. The comic books and the novels have just picked canons on occasion. Which I get because you want to have Isabella or Stan in the comics, but it does mean that it undermines the player agency there because it's like, well, what you did isn't real because here's what is real because we put it in the comic book. I really don't like that, but given the branching in the games, you would have had to just stay away from those characters completely, which undermines your storytelling. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, honestly. Well, that's a good point, is that, yes, it's hard to imagine that Liliana is going to be like, let's sign me up for the Wardens. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where a good place to stop for today is.
Yes. And I'm off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree that you could be all prequel, but I think there's a limit. Tevinter Knights does a really good job of staying away from violating canon. It does. Oops. The thing with like the sort of the further you go away from the what's in the games, the more you are the less well it's going to do. So that's not necessarily a problem, but it is something to keep in mind that, you know, if you're trying to make money with your novels, setting it in a time period that people don't know is great for the core, but isn't necessarily going to do super amazing. Yeah, I think the advantage that Tevinter Knights has is because it is a because it's an anthology. You're able to just everything kind of stands on its own, and therefore you're able to just stay away from the major characters to a large degree.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so Varric's definitely not. Varric is in good shape. Dorian, I feel like Dorian is going to be around, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yes. All right.
But the games have gotten better, or at least more conscious of what they do with companions as it's gone, in terms of trying to in terms of being at least aware of the fact that that you might want these people to come back, so maybe at least understand the quantum you're putting them in. That's true. There's a bunch of there are a bunch of followers in Inquisition that you might not recruit. Like Blackwall's pretty easy to miss. Dorian, I think you have to recruit, because don't you get him in? Oh, but can you just not do, if you just don't do the start of Redcliffe, because you do Templars? Maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Then I thought maybe that was the case. Oh, that's right. He shows up in the Corypheus. That's right. I remember that now. What am I going to take? Sure. Yeah, that's right. He shows up with Cole. I forgot about that. Or he shows up in the same place that Cole shows up.
Going.
Yeah. I have a feeling that Desire Demons are going to be just ignored. Or, I mean, honestly, one way to I think Desire is seen in a very narrow light in Origins. I think if you move into Desire being a much broader concept, you have a lot of options there. Yeah, I think Where are we? Wait, is this where I came from? Oh, yeah, let's go back up.
Yes.
Yeah, like I think if you approach desire in a broader sense, I think you have some opportunities. But then you kind of end up in the Inquisition problem with the fear.
Just as he foretold.
He's talking.
Be taking this one gently. We are wishing no more death than is necessary.
Necessary? As if your kind has ever done anything else.
You are thinking you know of our kind, human? It is understandable, but that will soon be changed.
Others will come, creature. They will stop you.
There it is.
It seems your words be true. More than you are guessing.
It is talking. Well, let's shut it up already.
Commander.
Capture the Grey Warden. These others, they may be killed.
Yeah, so Dorian can show up, but he doesn't die if you don't recruit him. He's alive. So the biggest thing for Quantum is, are they alive? Of which in Origins there's a lot that don't make it. Then you have to deal with. Well, they might be king or something, but the biggest thing is if they're alive, you can probably make it work. The biggest reason why the Darkspawn design changed from Origins to Dragon Age 2 is that the Origins Darkspawn don't... Mainly, honestly, the Ogre, but they don't quite fit into an artistic palette, and there was a strong push from the art team on Dragon Age 2 to move the art direction into something that was ownable. And so that's the main reason. It's really just an ownability perspective. You can kind of see it because like he kind of starts to look like this guy, the Withered. He's starting to look a lot like the Dragon Age 2 Darkspawn, or at least he's headed in that direction. Finally leveled up. I guess we should probably kill this guy. One of Dragon Age 2's big art direction things is, so the Eclipse is really good at pushing polygons, so a lot of things in the art direction of Dragon Age 2 are pushing polygons, so they're spikier, they just have a lot more polys in them, because it's one of the things it's really good at. Come on, die so I can get back to this guy. There we go. Oh, it's Ogre. You're fine.
The music! Time to dance!
Oh, I didn't get a... Was there a party picker somewhere? Because I've lost my... Oh no, never mind. I don't know what I'm thinking. There's my mage. I hate shrieks in general, just as a general rule.
Commander, I owe you my life.
Stealth enemies
Soldiers
came
on the road. It seems we have more company. Hopefully they're more hospitable than our previous guests.
This might be the place to stop.
It looks like I've arrived a bit late.
King.
Too bad. I rather miss the whole Darkspawn killing thing.
King, Alistair.
I'd wanted to come and give the Wardens a formal welcome. I certainly wasn't expecting this. What's the situation?
What Darkspawn remained have fled, Your Majesty. The Grey Wardens who had arrived from Orlais appear to be either dead or missing.
Missing? As in taken by the Darkspawn? Do they even do that?
I do not know, Your Majesty. I know only that we cannot account for all the Wardens.
I see. At least the hero of Ferelden is still here and alive. That's something, right?
Can I have my Dragon Age armor, my Blood Dragon armor back, Alistair? If a remaster would be, if you were doing a remaster, you would keep the same engine. If you're doing a remake, you would switch engines. But it's not a remaster if you're switching engines. That's for sure.
I'll get over it, I'm sure. You have quite the task ahead of you. Really, I'd like to help you fight Darkspawn, but you're on your own for the moment.
Hey, what am I? Chopped nug livers?
From the smell, that's not a bad guess.
I came here to join the Grey Wardens, and from the looks of it, you could use the extra hands. Now where's the giant cup? I'll gargle and spit. Ha! Well, smack my ass and call me Sally. I'm in.
I suppose all are welcome in this dire time.
Joining the Wardens, eh? Well, good luck with that.
King Alistair, Your Majesty beware, this man is a dangerous criminal.
Oh, the dwarf is a bit of an arse, but I wouldn't go that.
She means me.
This is an apostate who we are in the process of bringing back to the Circle to face justice.
Oh, please. The things you people know about justice would fit into a thimble.
Hilarious.
I'll just escape again, anyhow.
Never. I will see you hanged for what you've done here, murderer.
Murderer? But those Templars were... Oh, what's the use? You won't believe me anyhow.
It seems there isn't much to say. Unless you have something to add, Commander.
Yeah, here we go. Mage!
What? Never!
I believe the Grey Wardens still retain the right of conscription, no? I will allow it.
If Your Majesty feels it is best.
I mean, I literally got recruited
Way
from
to go, kids. Welcome aboard.
Me? A Grey Warden? I guess that will work.
Congratulations, Sir Mage. I look forward to fighting at your side.
Then if you have everything under control, I will need to take my leave.
I believe the estate has been secured, yes. We have suffered great losses, but the Darkspawn are gone, and there are survivors. Oh, excuse my manners. I am Veril, Seneschal of Vigil's Keep, and I am most grateful for your timely rescue, Commander. I will aid you in ruling the lands of Amaranthine. Some of the soldiers and Vigil staff survived, but none of the Orlesian Wardens made it. Come and speak to me soon. There are many matters to attend to, not the least of which is the joining. You will need to replenish your numbers.
The security of Ferelden relies on the Grey Wardens now, even weakened as the Order is. It will be up to you to deal with the vestiges of the Blight before the situation grows out of control. No easy task, but I'm confident you are up to it. Good luck, Commander. May the Maker watch over you.
He's much more kingly here, isn't he?
Before we do anything else, Commander, there's an urgent matter we must take care of. Right now, I know of only one living warden assigned to all of Ferelden. That should be rectified. The others could aid you considerably.
There's also Barkspawn. I still maintain that Barkspawn has essentially gone through the joining, but whatever.
As you wish, Commander.
The time has come for us to begin the joining. I shall speak the words that have been said since the first. Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand, vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten, and that one day we shall join you. From this moment forth, Oghren, you are a Grey Warden.
What's this, the sampler size? Are you trying to say something about my height? Huh?
This is the goblet we've always used.
Really?
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
Not bad.
Maker help us all. From this moment forth, Anders, you are a Grey Warden.
So we need to drink Darkspawn blood? That's it?
That is it, yes.
Well, all right. But if I wake up 2 weeks from now on a ship bound for Rivain in nothing but my small clothes and a tattoo on my forehead, I'm blaming you.
He lives, Commander.
It is
and
blood
will
magic.
awaken in time. From this moment forth, Myri, you are a Grey Warden.
I have awaited this moment.
I am sorry, Myri. May the Maker watch over you now. Poor Myri. Open the doors!
The Commander must be informed about the Deep Road's entrance. It could be their base of operation.
You'd have the Wardens chase a rumor then, Captain. And even if it proves true, unless the Pilgrim's path is cleared by the time your army assembles, they'll have nothing to eat but shoe leather.
Garavel, Woolsey, the Commander has had a long day.
Woolsey says some merchants escaped the Darkspawn. They can reprovision you for a reasonable fee. And the Vigil is yours. Take whatever weapons and armor you need. We'll be waiting when you're ready.
Yeah, that's right. There's a drop of Archdemon blood mixed in there. Okay, this is probably, once this all stops, this is probably a good place to stop for today. Save. Yeah, so technically, probably everyone who's had gone to Darkspawn blood is not a Grey Warden, but it is a bit. I do think it's one of the things where the taint and the blight is a bit presented as being more bad than is really pulled off in the games. And I guess we will do. I can't remember how long Awakening is. I think I remember Awakening the least of anything in Dragon Age Origins because I was focused on shipping the consoles. And that's probably where we'll stop for today. And we'll keep working on the lighting with my new setup, and we'll see how long it takes us to get through this, and then we will do Witch Hunt, and that will be it for Dragon Age Origins. And we will be on to Dragon Age 2 after that. So thank you everybody for joining me, and we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.